Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Apocalypse Soon. And now, here he is. Oh my God. I can't believe it. Can you? Make it loud for him, Eddie Pepitone!
Hey, everybody. We are here in Fanico Studios with Rob, our producer, and Kevin Tinkin. And it is going to be quite a show today. We were just talking about wandering through graveyards of car parts. Kevin, you have a fucked up mirror, a side view mirror.
That's correct, sir.
On your car, and Rob is a fan of the same junkyard pick-apart.
Love a good junkyard.
Love a good junkyard. And America, you know, we wander through junkyards looking for car parts. But I wonder if we're going to start wandering through. And by the way, I just jumped into this, folks, without saying how do you do. The midterm elections are coming up, which should be a well-deserved nightmare. People enable these toothless pieces of shit Democrats to get away with being a party that really doesn't fight for the working class. All they do is say, you know what, don't vote for these lunatics. And they are lunatics, the fascist Republicans, the fascist fucking Republicans. The Democrats are complicit, and they could suck my balls, which, by the way, suck my balls, I am releasing as a single, which is suck my ball. If you want suck my balls, you're going to have to pay for both. So anyway, wandering through car parts, wandering through junkyards is something that I think Americans are going to be doing more of. You know, just different types of graveyards, not only car parts, but hey, where is my arm?
Yeah.
After, you know, the fascism comes.
You'll be able to get a new liver. You just walk through the old...
Yeah, hi, I'm here for a liver. Yeah, sir, do you have a liver? How many livers do we have? One?
I think we got one liver.
We have two kidneys.
Two kidneys, one liver.
Two kidneys, one liver.
Which was the name of my jazz band back in the day.
Two kidneys, one liver. Terrific band.
Yeah.
Terrific band. Yeah, until I think there was a lot of alcoholism in that band, and the liver part left.
Yeah, it was just two kidneys and one.
It was two kidneys.
Yeah, two kidneys, and then the one liver was
and then
not
one of the
good.
kidneys went bad. I remember you were looking for a what do they call it? A donation? I forget. You were looking for a kidney.
A transplant. Yeah,
you were looking for a kidney transplant. Couldn't find that, so you would just it went from two kidneys and a liver to a kidney.
It was just me on the congas. It was it wasn't as good.
So, yeah, I mean, junkyard. Do you like walking through junkyards for car parts? Is it kind of interesting?
Yes, it's very interesting because there's I don't know. As a kid, I would always, when we go to the hardware store with my dad or whatever, I'd always want to get like a big, nut and screw or just random stuff. So when we'd go to the junkyard, we'd find stuff, and I would always want to get some random thing.
Yeah.
Because I was a kid. And so now when I go there to look for the actual mirror that got knocked off my car, I get that nostalgia a little bit. And I'm like, maybe I should take home this Ford F-150 gas tank cover.
When you see a part, like, I don't know, I think we like chaos. I think we kind of crave the chaos of a junkyard. Like, you see this, you see this, you see this. And there's something, and I like chaos in general because routine is boring.
That is my nemesis.
Routine?
It's not a good thing because I think I'd be more productive with routine. But the idea of repeating actions every day, there's something that bothers me about that,
Right. Repeating actions. I guess, you have to have routine, though. You have to have routine somewhat, or else it's like, here's a routine that I have. I take my dog out, and this isn't a brag that I have this kind of lifestyle, but I take Charlotte out between 10 and 11 every morning.
Yeah.
And that gives me, some routine. Like, it tethers me to reality because, sometimes I'll just spin off
Yeah.
and I'll start wandering the streets and naked, playing a guitar, singing.
Beautiful songs.
Well, yeah, singing things about, why aren't there more Cocos out on the market?
It's about time somebody released a song about that,
But I like chaos. I like chaos in my act. I like chaos in this podcast. Like,
Oh, yeah.
just kind of, going from, stream of consciousness,
You're amazing at stream of consciousness.
Get out of here.
No, Eddie, now I know
Come
you
on.
hate this, but, you're
Come
man,
on, tell me more.
Can I tell you, it's one of the best stream of consciousness guys out there,
I had some good, I just did the La Jolla Comedy Store with the jazz band, and that went really well.
Yeah.
Hey, I have a little business here. I wanted to promote a website that helps comedians, and it's called Comedy Gives Back, everybody. ComedyGivesBack.com. And what it is, it helps comedians with their mental health. And now I'm too far gone. Like, you can't, you can, the money that I get, for Patreon or stuff like that just goes to me digging the hole deeper.
Yes.
That I'm in. But other comedians, it's just a mental health, it's a safety net for the comedy community. So ComedyGivesBack.com's, it just helps comics with healthcare and mental health mostly. And you can text laugh to 707-070. So 707-070, text laugh, and make a donation for the mental health of comedians. Comedy Gives Back.
We need it. We need it.
.com. Yeah, like I said, I'm too far gone.
Yeah.
I don't. You know what I mean? Like, I have a team. I have something called Team Pepitone, working on my mental health, and it's a variety of medical technicians, blood work people, mental health. Like, I go from electroshock to cold plunges to, like, just, affirmations.
Oh, yeah.
Getting slapped around by someone beautiful.
Oh, wow. That is a team, man. I can see you running in the backyard somewhere, jumping out of an ice bath, and then somebody goes, Eddie, you're doing great.
It takes a lot of work, folks.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of work to put this together. But, folks, let's introduce ourselves, because we're here at Apocalypse Now, the podcast with no upside. We've been kibitzing a little, but let's welcome our the head of our band, Bobby and the Mephistophelians. Hey, Bobby.
It's good to be here, pal. It feels nice.
Yeah, Bobby. We were just talking about junkyards a little bit, and I was wondering, do you find your instruments in junkyards? I was thinking, would it be hilarious, Bobby, if there was just a junkyard for flute parts?
Oh, my God. It'd be a heaven sent, because I tell you, there's nothing worse than have a flute that's like 5/6 complete, and you're missing that one valve, and you're screwed. It's no good.
Not only, flute valves, heart valves. Valves are super important, right?
Very, very important. You remember, speaking of putting together instruments, you ever see the Blue Man Group?
Yeah, I saw that. I saw the Blue Man Group when they first. I saw the Blue Man Group when they were really blue. Okay, kids who are seeing the Blue Man Group now are seeing a lighter shade of blue. But when I saw the Blue Man Group in New York, and they were amazing, they were like a dark blue. But now, if you see their makeup, it's kind of an off blue, and it's off-putting.
It's like a Disney blue now. Nobody
blue.
likes a Disney blue. And in the beginning they were actually very depressed. And
they were blue.
Were not just blue, but they were blue.
They were Robert Johnson depressed. They were. If you've ever heard Robert Johnson, Lead Belly, they were that kind of depressed, like have you heard Lead Belly, Bobby? I mean,
oh yeah, I love that. I saw that documentary about that guy.
Oh yeah,
that's out
Bobby,
there.
you just amaze me. Like, you have your fingers in a lot of pies, and I don't mean that in any kind of bad way. You just have your fingers in a lot of pies, Bob.
I used to get in trouble. My grandmother would get upset at me when I put the finger in the pie.
Yeah,
But now, metaphorically,
Yeah.
you're absolutely right.
Well, if any old lady puts or old man puts a pie on a windowsill, how do you not put a finger in
you
it?
got to put your finger in it. Put in my thumb and pulled out a plum and said, "What a good boy am I?"
There
know
you
what I mean?
go, Bob. I mean, I love the fact that you have a appreciation for old folklore, old poetry.
Mm-hmm.
You're not just a racist anti-vaxxer. You're a lot more.
I'm a lot more. I harken back
Yeah.
to a simpler time.
A simpler time.
We had no vaccines, pies on the windowsill. I mean, Jesus Christ, where they go? Where are all the people on the trains going to eat? When there's no more pies on the windowsill.
People on the trains?
Yeah.
Are you now? That's an old. That's when. Well, people who would hop trains. Right now, it's so hard. By the way, I want to talk about this for 1 second. It is so fucking hard to hop trains now. They have them going at incredible speeds, especially in Japan. This is no time. We have so many homeless, unhoused people now. Back in the day, they used to be called hobos. Now, today, they are just called the average American. Okay? And they have to hop. They can't hop trains anymore because they're bullet trains. You ever try to hop a train in Tokyo, Bobby?
It's rough. It's very
rough. They
rough.
go 150 miles an hour.
Mm-hmm.
We need more freight trains so we can hop in those cars after stealing a pie from a windowsill. Is that what you were talking about?
100%.
That's who steals them.
Yeah, you get a pie from a windowsill. And look, when I was a young boy coming up, I remember we'd hop in the train, and a hobo would teach me lessons about life. And we'd sit there and we'd be on the train. There's hay in there. Both the doors are open so you can see the back of the
course.
And we're going. And the guy would be going, "Hey, you ever see a naked woman?" I go, "No." He goes, "Check this out." And I'm learning. I'm learning about stuff.
You're learning.
It'd be great.
You're learning. There's a breeze from the open doors. You're eating an apple pie mostly.
It's great.
Cherry pie, whatever it is. Is that your front door? Kevin just got on his text. It says front door on his phone.
It says foot doctor.
Oh, foot doctor. Sorry, I thought your front door was calling you. Kev, there's someone really fucking fucked up. Your front door just curses like a motherfucker. Yeah. Kev, there's a fucking maniac in the front door.
You got to get in here.
Your foot doctor's calling you. Hello, please pick up, Kevin. We found we found out we just took an x-ray of your foot and it's a complete piece of shit. Your foot is a piece of shit. We need you to get in right away. Doc, can you be more specific? No, it's a piece of shit.
Literally, your foot is literally a piece of shit. We did the x-rays, we did a biopsy, and there's no difference chemically between your foot and a piece of shit.
And a piece of shit. I don't know how you're walking around. You're basically putting a turd in a shoe. I don't know how it supports your weight. Do you have some foot doctor problems?
Well, yes.
Foot problems,
I have my daughter.
Or you're having an affair with your foot doctor. I mean,
would be great.
And a lot of foot doctors, by the way, and I want to talk about this. First, before I never finished that rant, but slow down the train so we can hop them, all right? So many people are losing their homes because of rents, food prices, supply line shortages, all this stuff, the coming pandemic, RSV, which is a new respiratory illness, monkeypox, polio's making a comeback. And by the way, polio's making a comeback and will be at the Hollywood Bowl. This summer, polio will be at the Hollywood. So please, in 2023, get your tickets for polio.
Yeah.
But foot doctors, here's the other rant. Foot doctors are always having affairs with their patients, their home wreckers. So don't have an affair with your foot doctor. A lot of foot doctors, play on the fact that you have a foot fetish. By the way, that is a funny thing when people have foot fetishes. That never, I like a good foot.
Oh, I love.
You know what I mean? But I ain't gonna go nuts on a good foot.
Yeah,
I mean? Like there are people who see a foot, and they're like, oh, I'm gonna fuck that foot.
Boy, people get real horny when it comes to feet sometimes.
What the fuck is that about?
I don't get it. I like a good stimulation. I like a lubricant. I like there's no lubricant on a foot.
You
it's
could
just,
put a lubricant on a foot. What the fuck are you talking about?
I like a natural lubricant.
Oh, I see.
That's what I like. Vaginal intercourse. Period. That's it. That's it.
Bobby, you don't have. You know what, Bob? You're salt of the earth. Which means you can't love, and which means you stay in jobs too long. That's what salt of the earth means, and that's you. And you also just speak your mind regardless of the ramifications. I mean,
who needs them? Ramifications. Maybe they'll happen.
Ramifications is coming to the Greek Theater here in Hollywood.
Well, I hear they're opening for smallpox.
There's smallpox. Is that coming? Is that making a comeback?
Oh yeah, new album, Big Pox.
Anyway, what I want to say is, don't sleep with your foot doctor. Okay. Don't sleep with your foot doctor. They play on your foot fetish. They want to wreck your family. I don't know what it is about foot doctors. I think it's because they deal with feet that have turned to shit, and they want to get their rocks off. They're a little too aggressive sexually, foot doctors.
100%. They think just because they're down there trimming my nails that they can, get a little higher on the thigh. And I tell them no.
Whoa,
I say, no, thank you.
Back off.
Back it off.
You see where my feet are.
Yeah, the podiatrist, it's a lot like going to a cheap massage parlor. You go in there, and half the guys that go in there, they're just trying to, do something with the foot.
Yeah, the foot doctor will go, what is the problem with the foot? And the guy will be, it needs loving. Well, no, I mean, what do you have? You have a callus. You have plantar fasciitis. I've had plantar fasciitis, by the way.
Not a good one. I've missed a lot of trains on account of the plantar fasciitis.
Have you ever had it? It sucks.
I don't like it. I've had plantars. I've had plantars warts. I've had
plantars peanuts. Plantars peanuts are terrific, by the way. If you have to get a plantar thing, don't get plantar fasciitis. Don't get a plantar wart. Get plantar peanuts.
Plantar peanuts or potter plants, planting pots and all that stuff.
All right, you're reaching, Bob. Bob, thank you for coming in.
I'm grasping.
Don't grasp, say the Buddhists. The Buddhists say let go. Let go. Whenever you feel yourself desiring something too much, let go. Let go and see a ball of beautiful yellow light instead of grasping. And wear light-fitting. I hope you're all wearing light-fitting clothing. See a beautiful ball of yellow light. A lot of people don't like the color yellow. A lot of people blow through the color yellow on the road, but if you see a beautiful, an amber color yellow, not an Amber Alert. An Amber Alert is a completely different thing. That's usually when a kid is in a trunk, duct tape, screaming. Not an Amber Alert. I want you to see an amber ball coming toward you, and this amber ball is completely benign. It's like if you have a growth on you, and you're worried, and then you get it biopsied, and it's benign. You're like, whew, that was close. Well, this is a benign ball of light. It's not here to hurt you. It just go toward it and let that ball of light go into your heart. Even if your arteries are closed shut from too much stress eating. A lot of people stress eat these days because of incredible collapse of what's going on in our society, in our culture, everybody fighting. The coming Civil War, folks, you're going to need to be centered for the coming Civil War. So with your first in-breath, I want you to center yourself in an amber yellow light. Breathe in an amber yellow light. And now, with your out-breath, I want want you to realize you will never survive a civil war. Millions died in the first Civil War, and you can just imagine how many million more are going to die in this Civil War. Back then, it was muskets and hand-to-hand combat. This Civil War will just be AK-47s, Glocks, and getting strangled in supermarkets.
Nice.
So with your out-breath, just let that thought come out of you. Let it come out of you like so many bad carrots. Let that thought come out of you like so many bad. You ever have a bad carrot, folks? It's horrible. Now with your next in-breath, I want you to just breathe in a relaxing environment, that you're in a beautiful, peaceful environment. Forget about your neighbor who is making methamphetamine below you, and the guy above you who is threatening you by tapping lightly on the floor at 3 a.m. and whispering through the pipes, "I'm going to murder you and your family." It's not that. You're just in a beautiful, peaceful environment. There is no meth addict below who is just screaming nonsense about Planet of the Apes and whatever he's screaming about, and the guy up above who's threatening your life. No, you're in a beautiful, let's say you're in a yurt. You know what a yurt is? Yes, a yurt is it looks like a big ball, from the outside, but inside it's just a beautiful, airy space that you can't afford. The kind of yurt you can afford is a yurt that is, well, quite frankly, it wouldn't even be called a yurt. It would be called an urt. The Y wouldn't be there. It'd be an urt. And it'd be like, urt. That's what it'd be. So breathe that in. And then with your next out breath, I want you to breathe out the fact that no matter how many people want to harm you, no matter the fact that there is no safety net for you like comedy gives back. Yes, comedians have a safety net, but you, Peter Stevens or Jill Leanmone, whatever your name is, Pete Stevens, Jill Leanmone, which is not a popular name, the last name Leanmone. But if you are named that and you don't have a safety net, just think of a trampoline where you go up in the air and you come down and you bounce up like a small child, You bounce up and down like a child, not a child who's being tortured by parents who shouldn't have had children, which is most parents. Most parents shouldn't have had children, because they don't have the means to support them and they're emotionally crippled. Don't think about that. Think about beautiful parents who can take care of you, and you're bouncing up and down on a trampoline. And yes, you smell smoke and gasoline because you live near an area where they're burning tires because there's protests going on very near your house and they're burning tires in the street. I don't want you to think about that. And don't think about cockfighting, in the alleys near your home where that happens a lot. Just think about peaceful ocean breezes. And with your final in-breath, I want you to look at all your bills that are stacked up on your table and you've been avoiding them. Just breathe in those bills and realize they'll never get paid, and let the consequences come. And now, with your final out breath, I want you to hear a knock on your door of the people coming to throw you out on the streets. But I want you to know that you are just immortal ether. Even if you're thrown out on the streets, the thing that's getting thrown out on the streets is not a mind, it's not a body. You are just immortal, presence, your immortal, timeless presence getting thrown out of your house. That's basically what I want you to see, that you are an immortal, timeless presence that's gotten evicted.
Thanks for joining us for another guided meditation with Eddie Pepitone.
Well, thank you for coming in, Bob. Let's now have...
I gotta say, though.
Yeah, go ahead, Bobby.
Jill Lamone? That was my junior high girlfriend.
Oh, okay, so Jill Lamone is a name that...
I'm being evicted. I smell burning tires. Like all of that. It was very, very specific.
By the way, burning tires, I believe, could be a symptom of a stroke. Oh, no, that's burning toast, but it's hard to tell the difference.
Yeah, I like to put butter on my tires.
Yeah. Wait a minute.
Maybe I'm having a stroke right now.
Yeah. Anyway, thanks for coming in, Bobby, and leading the band. Let's bring in our producer, Kevin Tenkin. Kev.
Howdy doody.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm feeling free. I'm working hard. I'm
working hard. Talk about that.
I've been slaving away in front of my computer, just sweating and editing and just getting after it. And I've been writing a little bit. It's
good
been
for
nice.
you.
Yeah, I went out to the park.
Your manifesto's going well, then, huh?
It's going great.
Writing that manifesto. By the way, I give a workshop. How to write your manifesto when all is lost and you know you're going to go down in flames. I helped Joe Stack write his manifesto when he flew that small Cessna into the IRS building in Austin. Look him up. Joe Stack. That was because he took a course of mine. If you were writing a manifesto where you're going to go out with the bang, a literal bang, I can help you make complete nonsense out of it. Go to my website, eddiepepitone.com, and see all my shows and tours. I don't have a manifesto workshop set up yet, but I'll set one up. So, Kev, tell me, your writing's going well.
It's going well, and you have helped me. You've helped me with that.
Thank you.
And I mean, a lot of...
try to focus your discontent and focus.
I appreciate that. I got on the Wellbutrin. It's kicking in. I can feel it.
Are you
to
on Wellbutrin? We were talking about that a little bit.
I just got it. I've got a...
When did you get it?
I started it a week ago, so
tell me about it.
Well, it's a small pill.
No, you don't. Yeah, but tell me about what is happening with you.
Well, so
besides the lack of erection,
they said. Well, what else is new?
Hey, come on!
I just use this thing to clog the sink. No, but I got on it. I'm not necessarily feeling it yet, but it's supposed to start kicking in. But it's supposed to give me more energy and motivation.
Boy, that old bauble, huh?
Oh, yeah,
that old chestnut. I hate when doctors go to me, you want more energy? You want more motivation? How about you try getting out of bed? Huh, Pepitone? Get out of your goddamn bed. Better yet, get out of your goddamn head. It isn't all about you, Pepitone. It's about life and all the life. Look at a robin. Look at a beautiful robin, a robin redbreast. Look at a blue jay. Look at a blue jay. Look at a woodpecker. Look at a woodpecker. Why don't more people look at woodpeckers?
It's sad, the lack
of attention. So the
Wellbutrin,
what's going on? It's supposed to, it does take some time for these psychotropics to work.
Yeah, it's supposed to a week. I'm taking the one pill, and then I'm going to double it up on Monday. So I should start feeling the effects of everything. So I'll be a new man, folks. It'll be...
Oh, you're doubling up on Monday.
On the Wellbutrin, yeah, because I'm supposed to ease it in,
Yeah, you have to ease that stuff in.
Yeah, ease it in.
You have to ease it in. And let me ask you this. Do you I know when people have, when they reveal genders, they have parties, where they usually light, a great portion of a wildland on fire. But I was wondering with you, are you going to have any kind of reveal, Wellbutrin reveal, like I'm doubling up? Like, It would be funny if you had banners all in front of your house and balloons signifying Wellbutrin double up. happening today?
I'm doubling it up. We got a ball pit to celebrate. You know,
A ball pit?
a ball pit, a bouncy
What is that?
house.
A ball pit?
You know, like when you go to like Chuck E. Cheese or something, and they have a pit full of balls.
Oh, okay. I didn't know the term for that.
Oh yeah, ball pit.
I never understood
house.
people who want to swim around in balls.
Well,
You know what I mean? I mean, what the hell is that? I mean, I got a set of balls.
yeah,
Nobody wants to swim around. Most people are like, no, thank you.
yeah, no.
Yet you put like 100 balls, and then people are all of a sudden, let's go for it.
And the kids love it. The kids love a good ball pit.
They do, right?
But yeah, oh yeah. You know, my balls are usually swimming in something as opposed to me swimming in balls. But you know, for the Wellbutrin, we're kicking it off. It's going to be great. Matchbox 20 is going to be playing. It's going to be
Matchbox
a big
20.
celebration.
Are they still around?
I think they're still around. I feel like they've got to be still around.
Yeah, they're probably. You know what I realized about bands? They don't. If they have a name and a brand,
Yeah.
you know. Oh, hold on. Hi, Eddie. Your Milt and Edie's order is ready for pickup. This is my dry cleaner. If you have orders due on a different day, those are still, quote, in process. Your account using the link. Please review your account using the link to confirm all your order. Man, there's nothing like getting a message from your dry cleaner
Yeah.
saying, hey, your onesie is ready. You know, like I wear a leopard skin onesie.
Oh, with feet?
With feet, of course, with feet. You know?
You got to do it.
You definitely need it because your feet, one of your foots are a piece of shit.
It'll just fall right out if it's not connected to the pants. You know, I got to be careful.
Where were we? Oh, yeah, Wellbutrin, yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what it does. I just, you know, I've been trying to fight this stupid thing, you know, my whole life. You can relate to that. And
What's that supposed to mean?
Well-
Why do you always say, Margaret, why do you always say that I have to fight this thing? Oh, my. Al, first of all, Eddie was talking to his producer. Actually, I don't know what to call him anymore because Rob is the producer. Margaret, Kevin is the sidekick. He does editing. Rob came with the fucking studio. All right? Yeah, Al, first of all, tone it down, okay? Just take your foot off the gas and tone it down. Oh, hey, kettle, calling the teapot black. I did not call you black, Al. You are a white fella, and I love the hell out of you, Margaret. Don't try to flatter me by calling me white. Believe me, if you've paid attention, white is not flattering anymore. Look, Margaret, I don't want to get in. You always want to bring the conversation to race. Race? I've never brought the conversation to race once. I know, baby. I'm looking for the upper hand in an argument. I know you are, Al. I appreciate you being really honest with me about that. And know this, my baseline for you is that I love the hell out of you. Oh, Margaret, you make me feel so damn good. Do you want to do your watercolor body painting with me? Like we'll roll our bodies in this watercolor thing. Wait a minute, Al. Wait a minute. You know that I have to prepare a nice stew for me, you, and the Dansons. Dansons? Who the fuck are they? They're our neighbors that I just made up. Thank you for your honesty, okay? Yeah, Al. Don't think I don't know that we're not real and that every second of this conversation is the seat of our pants, and I'll make it. Look, Margaret, you could make up whatever you want. I just love hearing your voice, okay? And I'm going to throw this out there again. We have a body painting party. We get naked. We roll around in some watercolors. Wait a minute, Al. I've got to make a nice stew for the Dansons. Are you talking about Ted Danson and his wife? Yes, Ted and Millie Danson. Wait a minute, Margaret. I thought Danson was going out with Whoopi Goldberg. Hey, Al, do you want to play this fucking game? We are neighbors with Ted Danson and his wife Millie. All right, I'm not gonna. Let's keep going. I would love nothing more to keep going with you. But listen, first of all, I have to make a stew for the Dansons, and it's a very complicated stew. It involves a moose head and a basketball. Margaret, last time you made that stew, you got children ill. Okay, and we had to go to the emergency room with 8 or 9 kids that weren't ours. You know, we were doing that foreign exchange program, cook stews for kids from other countries. You made the Moosehead basketball stew, and these kids were sick for days. We had to pay reparations. Be that as it may, Al, I think I've perfected this stew, and I think the Dansons and you will love it. So that's one why I can't roll around naked. And then the other reason is, Al, that watercolors don't stick to your body. You gotta have, it has to be paint, Al. It has to be oil-based. No, oil-based won't come off, Margaret. Do you know what a pain in the ass oil-based paint? You know how many times I've body painted with an oil-based, acrylics, and I've body painted with a few women? What? Well, before I met you. You know what, Al? I don't need to be told about you rolling around with other women, okay? I don't mind you telling me you drive with other women, or you walk places with other women, or What? What happened, Margaret? I lost my train of thought. Margaret, one thing about trains is they go too fast and we need to slow them down for hobos. Al, that's a derogatory term. Why is hobo? They're not called hobos anymore, Al. You know who's a hobo? You, at about 2 p.m. after lunch. You're so goddamn lethargic. Margaret, let's not argue. All right? I just wanted to get naked, roll around in water-based paint, and make and I have a huge canvas in the back. Why don't you go roll around in acrylic-based with the women you... Look, Margaret, we're not real. You know that. We talked about that. All right, we're not real, but I am still invested in this fiction. Margaret, you're losing me. Please don't ever say that, Al. I love you so goddamn much. I don't want to lose you. Oh, I'm sorry, baby. I'm sorry, too, Al. I don't know. It might be the fact that on Tuesday I'm doubling up on Wellbutrin. Did you get the party balloons? Yeah. Good. We're going to have a big party balloon Wellbutrin party. I love you so much. Come here and hug me.
Thanks for joining us for another Checking In with Al and Margaret, the couple living inside Eddie Pepitone's head.
So anyway, I think you'll know in about a month and a half if the Wellbutrin is working.
And so the plan is if it doesn't do anything, we'll double up on the other stuff, on the other.
Sounds like you're in a casino of medications. Like, let's double up on the...
Yeah.
If the Wellbutrin doesn't hit, we're going to double up on the Paxil.
Lexapro, yeah.
And your doctor is like a casino operator. How much time have we done, Rob?
That would be 44 minutes.
Getting there, huh?
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see if it works. But when I went into your bathroom, I was inspired. I thought, I've only.
Oh, that's right. You were in my bathroom recently, which is just, I would describe my bathroom as a receptacle for pills.
Yes.
Like you can barely open the door because there's so many pill bottles in it, and the door pushes inward in my bathroom. I said to the designer of the bathroom, I said, I want a push-in door.
Yeah.
And he said to me, yeah, but you have so much medication. You may not be able to push it in. I would get a push-out door. And I said, I want a push-in door. And he goes, why? And I go, none of your fucking business, Tom. His name is Tom Johnson.
It's like a ball pit in there, with all the, and you get to swim around, and then I went home and I looked at my pills. It's not enough. There's not enough pills. And so I called my doctor.
Well, a lot of people get jealous when they see my pill collection. I've been collecting pills. A lot of people will collect like Marvel Comics.
Mm-hmm,
a lot of people will collect quartz. A lot of people will they'll collect, all kinds of things. But I collect pills and infectious diseases.
Yeah, and Indian arrowheads I remember seeing too.
Indian arrowheads I absolutely adore.
It's great. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like tackling this thing face on, but then some of the guys
face on, okay.
Face on. I'm attacking the mental disability head on, and I'm trying to be intentional about it. And then like a doctor will be like, you could just stop smoking weed. That'd probably help. And I go, wow, let's see.
No,
if we
did
get
a doctor
these meds
say that
work.
to you?
I've had a doctor say that to me
Good.
3 years ago.
Well, I'll tell you, I feel healthier right now. I have been going in and out with weed, and I haven't smoked it in a while again, and I feel much better. And one thing, when I work on my mental health, I can't do it with weed, by the way, because what happens is I get addictive with weed. So I just want to keep going with weed, and and what it stops, I believe, is developing a consciousness where you can heal yourself. Like, that is actually a phrase I've heard, heal thyself. I think that was either Hippocrates or Harry Styles. I'm not sure. It was one of the two, but heal thyself. And to generate that kind of self-healing, I don't think you can be stoned that often.
No.
Cut to me smoking right after the podcast.
Yeah.
Going, fuck it, baby, it's Friday.
Hey, we're having a good time. Yeah, I mean, I'm always in that struggle, with that.
Well, it's nice to not have the struggle, because that's another thing. When I kick it, the first 3 days is rough, and there's even there's a day or two in there that's like, oh, I feel depression.
Yeah.
Because I'm like withdrawing from the weed. But after about 3-4 days, I don't crave it anymore, and I kind of,
I'm the same. I mean, I already have typically every 3 months I'll take like a month off, or I'll take, every 6
I call
months
bullshit, because I haven't seen you take a month off.
Well, no.
Is that true?
Yeah, it's true. It's definitely true.
Oh, that's good.
But the stress of this podcast, I've had to double my Wellbutrin, so it's
I double you well, you double. There's got to be jingles. We used to live in a time when there were jingles.
I miss the jingles.
There was a jingle man in our neighborhood. There were guys, like, back then, when I was growing up, there were guys who just did jingles.
Like an ice cream man?
Yes,
Go
exactly.
through the neighborhood?
Yeah, but these people would be walking. Jingle men were always on their feet.
Yes.
And they would just be walking through neighborhoods singing commercial jingles.
Yeah.
Like, have some ribeye steak. Ribeye steak. It's not a mistake. It's a ribeye steak. Whatever it was.
Brought to you by the Association of Ribeye Steaks.
Well, they didn't have the announcer, but they would just go through the streets, whatever it was, whatever the product was. Like, do you like fluorescent lights? Well, why don't you get a GE fluorescent light? Some of them didn't sound as good as others. That fluorescent GE jingle never took off.
I love the idea of seeing you, like you're in such a great mood. You're skipping along and you're picking flowers, because then you're doing jingles in between, like pop, pop, fizz, fizz. Here we go. And then you're
pop, pop, fizz, fizz, Alka-Seltzer. Combat your GERD, your gas whatever GERD stands for, reflux something. Hey, some jingle guys really needed to work on their shit.
Not everyone was great. Not all the jingle guys were great.
There were some jingle guys who would wind up hopping freight trains.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they pull their socket out. 120-mile-an-hour freight train. You got to be careful.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there were some good jingles that came out of that time, though.
There sure were. But folks, this has been Apocalypse Soon. I want to tell you, we fool around here, but we're pretty sure, and that's why. I started a podcast and Kevin hopped on board much the way most of America will be hopping on freight trains if they slow these fucking trains down. Mm-hmm. But remember, even though we fool around, there is, an eco side coming. There is tremendous, tremendous rage out there. And we're here to cover it for you. Mm-hmm. Democracy doesn't exist in the United States. It is bought and paid for. I want you to know that as you're listening to a sketch like Jingle Man, because sometimes people will listen to silly sketches and forget about all of their troubles. And I want you to remember that yes, there is no democracy, and we need to fight these corporate forces who are just ripping our souls and ripping our livelihoods away. We live in, a military prison industrial complex, and we need to fight it. And you can fight it with ribeye steak. Have a steak. Not a mistake, but a ribeye steak. Hey. You see, that would be a funny jingle where in the middle of the jingle, just a screed on how the society's collapsing, and then he goes right back to the jingle. But listen, folks, that's our podcast for today. Mm-hmm. And where can people and what can they do?
Folks, go subscribe if you're not already subscribed to the YouTube. We've got the Patreon. Patreon, go to Bread and Circus. And for, if you sign up for the Patreon, we'll teach you how to tie a handkerchief to a stick so that you can
That's called a bindle stick, by the way.
That's right. And we'll teach you how to do it. You also get this podcast on video the day it comes out. And then, of course, some little
you get stand-up clips from me when I'm out on the road, and I put up stand-up clips. Anything else that we give people? Yeah, we're gonna give a bonus episode soon.
Oh yeah,
a quick one. We're gonna do like a 20-minute bonus episode every week. I love it. We're gonna try to do that. We're gonna try to start putting that out to attract more Patreon members. I'm gonna throw up some artwork. We're gonna notch up the Patreon, whatever it's called.
I love it. But yeah, that's it. And we've got on the 12th coming up. This will be too late.
What?
It'll be too late when people hear this, but
is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Because
Well, go to EddiePepitone.com, folks, and see all my tours coming up. By the time you hear this, we'll probably have finished our live podcast in New York, and we have Joe List going with that. It should be fun.
It'll be a blast.
Yeah. Write a review.
Send us some shavings. Feel free to send us some hair clippings or anything you got. You can send it to the Comedy Store, care of Eddie Pepitone, and we'll get it. So feel free to
don't
reach
do
out.
that. Just attach it in an email. I think.
Okay, yeah. Attach some hair clippings in the email.
Yeah, picture.
Yeah, a picture of the clippings.
Don't send the hair clippings.
But yeah, thanks for the love and support. We appreciate all the feedback and all the comments and everything. And send us an email at eddiepeppodcast@gmail.com if you want to reach out directly. And yeah.
EddiePepitone.com is the mothership for everything. Eddie Pepitone. And Kevin, where can people reach you besides the county jail?
The best way for me is going to be Instagram, and I put a lot of updates on my YouTube channel and all that stuff. So yeah, Kevin Tienken, TIENKEN.
Cool. All right, everybody. Thank you for listening to Apocalypse Soon, the podcast. No upside.